Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this very special edition of the live MCW cast. My name is Tara, and I'm joined tonight by
Dan McDevitt, co-owner of MCW, and we got a special guest host because Larry is tied up with other obligations tonight up the road. So our other special guest host,
Brett Terry, Handsome Devil, how's everybody doing? It's a hot mic. It's a hot mic. Sorry. How's everybody doing?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have an announcement from the Maryland State Athletic Commission, and then we'll be able to hopefully make an announcement on June 1st is the date we're going to give to make an announcement to a return to normalcy somewhat back here with some live events. So we're looking forward to that announcement happening real soon. What's been going on?
Well, for our live audience, they've been here with us all day. We had MCW Fan Fest 2021, and even though our other co-host Larry could not join us for the podcast, he was here all day as the MC of that event and is helping out in directing traffic, so to speak. So we did miss his presence tonight, but he was here with us all day. We thank him for that. Everything's going great. It feels good to be back in the MCW arena.
It feels good to be back in front of actual people, y'all. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much.
Hard to believe it's been 15 months since we've had people in the building at all.
When I went down in March, it was kind of like, oh, everything will be good by like June, right?
Oh yeah, it was like one big rib.
Never-ending rib.
It was like a never-ending rib.
Let's play that.
When it happened in March, we actually had two shows that weekend. We had South and Hollywood, and actually, if you remember, it was it didn't even seem real. Like I remember, like we got a call on Monday from the commission, and the commissioner was like, "Hey, you know, what are you doing for this weekend?" And I said, "What do you mean? With John and Hollywood?" He said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You guys still having the show?" And I said, "Well, yeah, like, I mean, we got like 700 tickets sold in Hollywood, and like 600 in John. Why wouldn't we?" And he's like, "Because of this thing." And I was like, "What thing?" It's like this, the COVID. And I was like, "Yeah, the flu?" Like, because remember, that was first you were hearing about this like flu.
It didn't seem real.
Right, it didn't seem real. You're hearing about this flu overseas that's causing all this, and I was like, "Well, yeah, no, we're still having the show." And then it escalated so bad within like 48 hours. Then on Wednesday, he's like, "Listen, the government shut the state down." And I was like, "For the flu?" Yeah, then by 3 days, even when it happened, we got the call. It was like, "Oh, we'll push it off for 60 days. So yeah, that's been like the never-ending rib, and here we are 15 months later, still waiting to be told when we can actually have a live wrestling show with people in it. So.
In the meantime, we've been busy putting together some never-before-seen matches, which you all got to watch here at the Fan Fest. We had a breakthrough, so look for that competition. So we will keep you entertained, we promise that. And we've been, of course, busy with the podcast. We're on episode 17 now.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys watching and following online, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or Spotify, or any of the other major podcast platforms. We appreciate you guys following along.
And of course, we thank our Coffee Club supporters. If you're not already a member, you can buy just a cup of coffee or be a recurring monthly member, subscriber for just $5 a month. We really appreciate that. And we also got lots of great MCW cast gear available on Teespring. So thank you for that too.
So, what else is going on? Anything, Brent?
What else is going on? What do you guys think of the Breakthrough Show? What do you guys think about Leo Rush back here in MCW? Boy, come home, huh? all the way to WrestleMania and back. I thought it was a great show. God, that's good, man.
Well, you know,
It's just unfairly good, you know? It's not fair to the rest of us. You know, out there, like, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't do. So,
it was good to see her make the show back, too.
they had a great match too, her and Ray Lynn. So, you know.
It was just yes, you're on our podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent, I know you were a little sad that you missed last week's live studio guest. We had Mark Shark Schrader here. Talk about a blast from the past. One of the co-founders of MCW with Dan McDevitt here. He was our last guest that we had, and I know you expressed that you were sad you missed him.
I'm definitely sad. My whole thing, my whole journey wouldn't have looked anything like it looked if I hadn't met Mark outside of the Baltimore Arena after the WCW house show, Hogan and Sting in the Cage. And, you know, I don't want to know, get a wrestling school, wrestling, I go, this is great. But, you know, I got this situation here, and I'm sure, come on now. So, yeah, it took my money, but I'm glad they did. I mean, you guys had to be sweating, Dan and Mark, I don't know, walking liability. This walking wall suit here.
We definitely did when you were like, we're going to sign up. I said,
Oh, God.
man, we got to call the attorney. I remember I said, we got to check that liability around, see if we need to have an addendum.
Right. But yeah, you know, without Dan and Mark Schrader, RJ the Bruiser, like, just wouldn't happen for me. So, thanks.
No problem, man. Here you are, what, 22 years later?
Yeah, I was watching wrestling when I was 11, man.
You remind me of that all the time. I appreciate your son for reminding me of that.
Well, speaking of flashbacks, if you're a YouTube subscriber, you'll probably be interested in our upcoming Flashback Friday match with Ryan McBride versus Sanjay Dutt, and that took place in Autumn Armageddon in Baltimore, Maryland in 2015. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Waldorf, the sports event.
Yeah, that was a really interesting venue.
All the guys always wanted to end up in the foam pit.
I know, they had this really cool foam pit, and they had that trampoline floor where you could just jump from, like, you could climb up into this like lift area and you could just jump. It was awesome.
Leo and
Leo Jackson.
They had like an insane match with all the, like it's one of those trampoline rooms. You ever seen those? So imagine Leo Rush and it was insane.
Yeah, all the guys, it was always a politics when we were at that building, who was going to end up, who was going to be able to work in all the trampoline equipment for the match. So it was always, everyone was always politics when we were like, what match is going to spill out of the ring and up in the trampoline.
Yeah, you said my name, not second match, but I'm sorry.
All right, well, today, we've got a great special guest for those in attendance today. You probably met him during the meet and greet that we had earlier. So, Brent, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Yeah, I'd love to introduce our guest. This is a young man who's literally just in the second quarter of his career has already done some pretty revolutionary things. I've known him for about 15 years, started knowing him in OVW and developmental, WWE developmental, and since then, he's gone from being in a white meat babyface tag team to becoming almost like getting chanted at MSG while The Rock is cutting a promo at Survivor Series, and Rock has to stop and acknowledge it because he was that over and he continues to keep the hits coming. Ladies and gentlemen, he is formerly Zack Ryder, but he is now Matt Cardona. We love the ribbon right we got out here.
All right, what's on now? What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey man, glad to have you on, man. We appreciate you coming out, flying all the way out here. It's good to help us kind of start to reopen this building after about 15 months.
Yeah, this is my first time here. I'm really impressed with the setup, but I think I need to come back and wrestle in an actual match.
Yeah.
How big of a booking here?
What do you guys think about maybe Matt Cardona against Leo Rush here?
Well, we got to go to the t-shirts.
Bring the shirts.
You guys can share your gimmick table.
That's fine. As long as you buy some.
Matt somehow ended up with some of Leo Rush's t-shirts, and as you guys know, even before, one thing I always put Leo over for, even before he even like started a Ring of Honor and get a name for himself, like the minute he had his first match, I've never seen anybody that was like a gimmick table machine without even having any national exposure, just getting his first or second match. Like the guy had like 4 gimmick tables, like t-shirts.
I love that. I appreciate that.
And so Leo, he somehow ended up with his shirts, and Leo was like blowing my phone up today. And was like,
Yeah, he sent me a text asking if I still have the shirts because we ordered them from the same person. At WrestleCon, I saw him. I was like, hey man, I have all your shirts. So he texted me today. He said, do you have them? I'm like, yeah. In my garage at home, I don't just travel with Leo Rush shirts just in case somebody knows them. Sorry, Leo. I got them. I'll mail them to you, but I don't just have them. I don't travel with them.
yeah, he was like, he sent me a text, he's like, hey, he's got good shirts. Put them on his gimmick table and sell them and collect the money for me. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'll get back to you on that. So Matt, you know, I've known you for 15 years.
It's been a long time. Time flies.
And how you got your start in New York with the great Mikey Whipwreck. Can you talk about the training you came up with, what that looked like in the early years?
Yeah, so I always wanted to be a wrestler. That was the only thing I had wanted to do. And right after high school, I found a wrestling school on Long Island, New York, New York Wrestling Connection. And at first, it was just like random people training you, teaching you something new. You know, one guy would teach you a 450 slash, the next week you'll learn power locks. There's an ass backwards training system. And then Mikey Whipwreck got involved in the school. Mikey Whipwreck was an ECW, WCW for a minute, and he really added some structure to the school with real classes and a protocol and a schedule and a whole like criteria of this is what we're going to learn today. I'll never forget, we walked in on like a dry erase board. It was like shine, heat, comeback, and like my mind exploded. Like I couldn't believe like there was like a formula to a match. Like what? Like I consider myself a die-hard wrestling fan, like a smart wrestling fan, and I didn't know there was a formula. Like I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
When did you start training?
2003, September 2003.
So I'm a little bit older than you, I guess. I started training in '91 and Axel and Rotten. And that was before they had just come back from USWA in Memphis. And that was before the internet and the sheets. I was never a sheet reader. So not only did I not know there was a structure, I was completely baffled that it was work. I remember after Axel Ian beat us up, and it was only like me and one other guy left after a couple of weeks. And then they were talking to me about taking a bump and they hit me with a clothesline. I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to fall for you. Like, you got to knock me down. You got to knock me down. You know what I mean? And then, so I was even further. Like, I had no idea. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was completely, not, it made me hard to believe for people now, but I 90% believe it.
Yeah, different time back then, like, we had Beyond the Mat, we had MCW, True Life, everything was revealed,
Yeah, I didn't do the internet or anything. I was fine that way. I appreciate it. Like I wanted to do things on the ride, you know what I mean? When it's interesting too, because like how you've come up, a lot of there there's been a lot of what started in the beginning has followed you almost everywhere you went, and Brian Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's someone I met at wrestling school. We both grew up on Long Island, like 20 minutes apart, the same age. But we didn't know each other until wrestling school. And at first, we didn't like each other because I didn't grow up wanting to be a tag team, and neither did he. So we viewed each other as competition, same size, same age, same look. And then eventually we were put together as a team, and when we both realized, oh wow, you're also an 18-year-old kid who collects action figures, like, secretly? Oh, I like you, you know? And that's what kind of broke the ice. And now, you know, like you said, it's been so long, 18 years, and, you know, we just wrestled on pay-per-view the other night. So, like, our careers have kind of paralleled each other.
I remember the first time I heard about you guys was from Domino, Cliff Compton, when he came down to Deep South Wrestling. It's like, we dropped the belt to these Major Brothers. That's pretty good, you know. So, and then next thing we knew, you had come up to OVW, which wasn't the greatest for you, right?
There was, oh man, 9 years, 7 months of my life. It was just a weird time, the OVW thing, because I always wanted to be in OVW. Because, you know, like Cena in OVW, Orton, Batista, Brock, and, you know, and I would get those OVW DVDs, and I always go on like OVWWrestling.com, and I who are the up-and-coming guys? That's what I wanted to be. But at the time I was there, I did not want to be there, because we were in Deep South, which was the other developmental territory for a whole year, and Deep South had closed, and I'm like, okay, you're moving to OVW, so we were very excited, okay, we'll go to OVW. But in that week, we had debuted on WWE TV. So now we're like supposed to be called up, but also have to do this OVW training and go to OVW, and it was just, oh man, it was just I don't know.
It's unfortunate. I mean, you make some really good friends.
Oh yeah, great, sure.
But you know, it was a weird, it was a weird time. It was a time in Hodgenville, wrist tape or something.
Oh yeah, there's a whole incident of wrist tape and like I don't think we have time to tell that story.
But what I wanted to talk about was how when you guys really the big break came with Edge. And Edge, and I was sitting there in the crowd, and I remember watching when the writers used to come down, the creative team used to come down and just be like, show us what you got to everybody, contract and a few non-contract guys. And you know, Brian did this promo, and it was basically about a strawberry shake, like a protein shake. I remember that.
Yeah, so to my point, we were doing OVW and WWE at the same time. So we're doing SmackDown on Tuesday. We know the writers are going to be at OVW on Wednesday. And we went to Michael Hayes, who was going to be at OVW, and said, well, we're already here. Why don't we show you tomorrow at OVW? And said, like, show me something new for it. Like, okay. And we had this like crazy idea that we would, like, Edge was out with an injury. We wanted, look at that, there's a picture right there. We wanted to be like Edge's like minions, like his Edge heads. And we already had like Edge merchandise and stuff like that. So for the OVW match or whatever, we played Edge's music, and that was fun. We come out as Edge, and the promo we do is a cell phone call, and we're ordering Edge's smoothie or a shake. The big show that was popular on TV was Entourage, and that's what we were kind of basing it off of. We wanted to be like his friends, like his turtle, the guy on the show, and like his little like cronies and minions, and you know, luckily it all played out and it worked, and Edge went for it, and then you know we became his Edges.
And culminated at WrestleMania 24.
Yeah, we got to our first WrestleMania was doing a run-in during the main event of WrestleMania. So I guess I can say I main evented WrestleMania. Thank you very much.
You guys, Matt and Matt Hardy were the two people too, like, they kind of really were the first ones to break out doing stuff, like, as far as YouTube and kind of mastering social media. I guess, were you first or Matt?
Oh, there was definitely guys before us. I wasn't the first person to use social media or have Twitter, but I think I was the first person to take social media and go, okay, I'm doing nothing on TV, and and I'm going to force them to use me on TV.
Right.
So there were people like Shane Helms, Matt Hardy, they were using social media, but I don't think anybody used social media to quote unquote get themselves over or to get noticed. I mean, the beginning of the year of 2011, I'm doing nothing on television. I started the YouTube show. I end the year as the U.S. champ, and that's only because of the YouTube show, only because of the fan interaction. The WWE writers, they didn't want to use me, they had to use me, and that's because of the fans who were so vocal and chanting my name and bringing signs and buying merch, all while I wasn't on television. So that's, it was all my hard work, but it couldn't have happened without the fans. And it sounds corny and cliche, but it's true.
It was super organic, right? They just before shows, we want to ride, woo, 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 and like, how'd that feel when you were like, oh my God, this is working?
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of the show was to get noticed, right? I wanted WWE to notice me, I wanted to create buzz, but I either wanted to get noticed or get fired. I wanted to create buzz, so if they did fire me, okay, I'll go to TNA or whatever. I didn't want to get fired. The goal was to be on TV. The goal wasn't to have a weekly YouTube show. But the fans, they really gravitated toward me because they realized, hey, this kid is a fan too. And also, I was showing my personality, I was bringing like my friends and family. I was merging Zack Ryder and Matt Cardona before that was a thing, And I was letting people in, and I think they appreciated that. They wanted to get behind me.
And you gave them that access, and it was a cool time, man. It was like, Colt had his podcast, was one of the first doing that. You were one of the first with YouTube. It was like the summer of punk was starting, and all that. It was a very cool, interesting time in wrestling where it felt kind of dangerous again. It felt like anything can happen, and it's live. And it had been so long since it felt that way.
Now, could you imagine that happening now, though, with the kind of control that WWE
Yeah, there's no way.
wants over? Yeah, I mean, that is...
No, you can't. And it's, I'm not saying it should be that way or it shouldn't be that way. Luckily, when I was doing the YouTube show, nobody knew about it for a while. Nobody was paying attention. And then when they caught on, it was almost too late. And I remember they wanted me to, when I say they, WWE wanted me to move it to WWE.com. Like, no, who goes to WWE.com? That's not cool. But at the time, WWE was so behind that they had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't any original content. It was like clips from Raw, SmackDown, NXT. It was a joke. It was a highlight thing, it was nothing. Eventually, I did have to move it to their channel. I'll say that in the book, because or in a horror movie, one or the other.
So you were probably the person that I guess made WWE realize the power, I guess, of YouTube and social media, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if I leave any mark on this business, I think I do want to, be recognized for that. Listen, like I said, I wasn't the first person to use social media. I think I was the first person to show, hey, take this seriously. This is a big deal. This can change people's careers, change people's lives. And now, I'm sure WWE was going to use social media eventually. They were going to catch up eventually. I get it. But I think I made them realize, hey, this is a real thing. It's not just little nerds on the internet. I think if you look at Triple H's first ever tweets about nerds on the internet, no, everyone's on social media, dude.
Doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
You see, he does that joke, they think it's funny. Anyway, it was weird too, because I remember at the time looking at how it was blossoming and coming to fruition, and also being like, come on, push it in a wheelchair back, hey, come on, it's blowing up, it's a rock strutting kind of promo on MSG, and he needs to shut up, was that bad news? When you saw that, were you like, oh no,
I mean, that night, that Survivor Series night was awesome. And as far as the pushing off the stage in the wheelchair, that whole January, February Kane, killing me every week, at the time, I was so naive. Whoa, man, this storyline with Kane and John Cena, I'm sure I'm gonna beat him at WrestleMania or Backlash or something. That just never happened.
Right.
And I don't blame any, I said this before on other podcasts, like people ask like, were you married? Like, listen, I don't blame anybody for that time except for myself, because I could have knocked on Mr. McMahon's door and said like, hey, what's going on here? Why are we doing this? I'm like working my ass off. I got myself over, I grabbed that quote unquote brass ring. I'm one of the top selling merch sellers, but I didn't do that. So I blame myself, I don't blame anybody else, and it's gonna do no good to, look back and blame others anyway.
And we're all so young back then too, like it's a learning process. You gain experience and you learn how to talk to and take care of your own business. But you think you got the mission accomplished, right?
I read something somewhere that somebody identified 2011 as like your year and 2012 as your worst year.
I mean, that's accurate, I guess. Oh, I don't know what, maybe like 2013 to 2014 was my worst in 2012. But yeah, I mean, it did stink, it was a bitter pill to swallow, like to see all that. I have no problem being, just engulfed in my work and working hard but if I see my hard work paying off, that's great. But 2012, it was like the opposite. I'm still doing this YouTube show, now I have to do it, now it has to be at a certain time. Now WWE's getting this fat paycheck from YouTube, I'm not seeing God, and I'm getting pushed up the stage in a wheelchair, choke slammed all through the stage. It's like, this sucks. But it is what it is.
And a lot of people don't realize what it takes out of you for that moment and then take it away. So it's like the escalation, de-escalation. And one thing about you, Matt, is like you're one of the most hardworking, tenacious talents and performers out there. Like Matt never slowed down. Like even if they slowed the gas pedal on you forced it on there. He said, like things with Mojo, you were always back in the mix.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. Listen, if you go back to 2012, 2013, I'm sure you can find some bitter tweets. I'm sure they're out there, right? But I realized shortly after that being angry and being bitter, it's not going to change the situation, and it's not going to make you any happier at home, right? So why even get into that? And that's when I kind of changed my whole mentality, about my career, my life. It's always ready stuff. It's legit. Like, okay, in wrestling, there's very little that a wrestler can control. I mean, you can control your gear. Like, no one's going to say, you can't buy good gear. You know what I'm saying? And no one's going to say, you can't work out. Like, you can control your physique. You can control your gear, your physique, and your attitude. No one can, say, you're not allowed to be a good mover. You're not allowed to be happy. So once I started, focusing on the things I could control, and not really worrying about the things that I couldn't, I was a lot happier, and then, things did turn around. I won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania when, a year prior, 2 years prior, there's no way, I would have thought there's no way I'm ever coming back.
Is that the highlight if you look at the picture? I mean, your dad was in the ring. He wasn't supposed to do that. He took it upon himself.
Yeah, so, I mean, the backstory to this is it was another weird situation where Triple H told me I was going to NXT. And at first, knee-jerk reaction, I was pissed. Why am I going to NXT? And then I realized, you know what? Okay, this is an opportunity. Triple H wants me to go to NXT, team with Mojo. I'm going to make this high process the best thing possible. It sucked, right? It never got good, but I tried. So at the same time, similar when I was doing OVW and WWE, I was doing NXT, WWE. No days off, which is fine. I loved it. I loved, the grind, working hard. It is what it is. So I was still doing the Mojo stuff on NXT, and I was doing, WWE live events or superstars, maybe, but never anything substantial. And then one day backstage, there was a piece of paper, and it was the list, the matches for WrestleMania, and I'm in this ladder match. I was like, what? How am I in this ladder match? And apparently, Vince was eating a steak before Raw, watching superstars, and whatever match I was having, he's like, he must have looked at it while I was shooting, and then the next day in the meeting, he's like, why aren't we doing anything with this guy?
That's how it works.
And that's just how it happened. So then, I got added to this match on this list, and then, of course, the next week, I'm off the list. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. At least I was considered. Maybe things will turn around. And then it was a couple weeks before WrestleMania, and Neville, he was the guy, like, on the list instead of me, and he got hurt on Raw. And I was like a light bulb just went off. Like, the next day at SmackDown, I went up to the first rider, I could see it was Road Dogg. I think he was like the head of creative or up there. And I just kind of like spilled my guts and pleaded my case to why I deserved to be in that match more than anybody else. I honestly wasn't like prepared. Like, I just went up and I just spilled my guts. And I guess one of the things I said, and he told me this later, is that I said to him, I've never heard my music play at WrestleMania, which is true.
Wow.
And I guess that stuck with him, and that's what got him to vouch for me and, you know, politic getting into the match. And then later that day, he told me, you're in. I'm like, okay, I'm not in until I see a goddamn graphic. You know, so it was like the next week on Raw, they put the graphic up, and I was in that, and, you know, fans, I'm sure the boys were like, how is this guy in the match? And I didn't care, I was happy to be in it. You know, I was happy to be in the match. And so I think it's like a Raw is in Brooklyn, and I wrestled Jericho, and the next day we all fly to Texas, and we have this meeting for the ladder match, like a rehearsal. And the night before, Miz tells me he's winning. I'm like, oh, God, thank God. I'm happy for him. It's like, it's one of my brands, he's winning, he deserves it. Like, I didn't think that there was no chance I was going to win, like 0% chance. And the next day, we're at, you know, in the hotel, you know, where the ring's set up, and Miz walks in the room, like, he's smiling, like, Ring's like, oh, you're gonna love this, you're gonna love this. This, you know, Miz is he's a stooge, he's politic, he knows what's going on, he's talking to the writers, so he already knows that they plan to put it on me. So, you know, we go over the match, and, you know, the agents, it was Jamie Noble and Pit Finley, and they say, like, you know, Zach's gonna win this thing. And I was like, whoa. And I'm not gonna say who, but there were a couple of group faces in the room that day. So my biggest fear is that was like a Tuesday or Wednesday, all WrestleMania Sunday. That's like 5 days just to get out, 5 days just to change. And luckily it did. And, you know, just walking down that aisle was the win. But then actually win the title, I mean, man, you know, an ultimate win. And, you know, looking down and see my dad legitimately hopping the guardrail and sliding the ring, like, that's not part of the show, no writer wrote that, he legit, like, Ziggler said, like, come on in, and he just said, okay, and hopped the guardrail and slid in, and he tried to put some damn cowboy hat on my head, I took that off quickly. Yeah, that was definitely the greatest moment of my career and my life at that point, 100%. I remember, like, Dave Meltzer said something like, well, how can I be the greatest moment of his life? Like, this is, you know, this typical wrestling story, whatever he said. Like, come on, Dave, you spent your life and your career writing about wrestling. Imagine wanting to actually wrestle, and then you win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, and then your dad comes in. That was the greatest moment of my life. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, and that's when I stopped going to Disney. Like,
that's it. That's it.
So that was like the height of things, the culmination, and it wasn't long till you looked great. You're tan, you're vascular. Look at that.
Always ready. That's one time wear gear with white. You know that white. One time wear on that baby. You know. That's gonna get dirty, got tan. I remember I took it to a dry cleaner and get it as clean as possible. That was the day of the year.
And you just wear it once.
One time wear.
The baby gear, man.
Baby gear. That's right.
Yeah, and then it wasn't. It doesn't matter. Like people think, like it was not a long ring. Who cares?
I lost the next day. That's the thing. People are like, oh, aren't you mad? You only had it one day. I'm like, oh no, that's the story, baby. Like I finally get it. I wish I could have lost it that night. You know, like, who cares if I would have lost to Cesaro and Backlash? You know, like, oh, I want to remember that one night reign, 100%. Yes. Yes, that was pretty cool. You know, with Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers winning the tag team titles.
So you guys remember Mistake?
We were in Mistake, and you know what? If we ever had a tape mismatch, we were in Mistake too. So the story behind this is, you know, again, this is like a weird Vince McMahon eating like situation. You know, Brian or Kurt, whatever you want to call him, was in the middle of this huge losing streak. Like, I think like maybe over 100 matches, maybe close to 200, like losing. That was the gimmick. And I wasn't doing anything on Raw. And that was the story. Let's put them together, maybe like this, and storyline-wise, maybe they'll get each other out of each other's phones, you know? And my pitch and Brian's pitch was like, I think it was the week or 2 weeks before Mania, we went to Vince's office and we pitched for Brian to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And our pitch was like, okay, we're gonna be the last two guys in the ring, and I'll almost sacrifice myself. He wins in the hometown, breaks the streak, WrestleMania moment, and Vince is like, no. Well, that was fine. Like, he's not gonna go for every idea, which is totally fine. And then, like, as we were leaving, Brian was like, well, this is another weird thing. Like, now you have to, like, submit your WrestleMania gear, like, before you wear it. And Brian submitted his gear, and he asked me about it. I said, no way, because they're just looking for reasons to say, no, like, I'm not submitting my gear. And of course, he submits his. It's all professionally done, like, by our rep artists. And then they say no. They nod. So as we're getting Vince's office, well, can I wear this Jets gear? It's, you know, hometown, and Vince says yes. So that's the win. All right, we're gonna be this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Hometown, kind of, because it's New Jersey, it's not New York. I'm not from New Jersey, by the way. I hate when people say that. New York is. I hate Jersey.
And if you're from New York, you do. So
right. I'm going on. Yeah. So a couple days before WrestleMania, we got a call like, I don't know what happened, but you guys are going for the tag team title at WrestleMania, and I have to believe it's from that meeting with Vince where we just were in his brain when they were going for matches at WrestleMania. I want to make these two hometown kids go for the belts.
Right.
Like, we weren't doing anything on TV with the champions. It didn't, like, Revival was feuding with Gable and Bobby Roode. It made no sense for us to be in that match, and I believe it's because we went in there and just talked to him and just, like, sparked something in his brain.
Like an eccentric billionaire, sometimes it can screw you over, or sometimes it can really pay off.
It's
very random, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if he says and shoots down at, you know, every idea except that one.
Well, that's the thing, you never know. You never know. And then, you know, we end up winning the titles, which is awesome. Because, you know, I've had my WrestleMania moment with the Intercontinental title. This was Brian's moment. You know, I was involved with it. Yes, so I get my moment too, but it was his moment. You know, finally gets that win, finally breaks the streak, wins the titles, and I had the best seat in the house. Like, I was better than Purple. I'm like laid out on the floor, like I know what's about to happen, and like I'm here in the crowd, like start rumble like rockets, and like I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna roll up, dash it off, said 1, 2, 3, the place will do us, and they did.
That's so cool, man. Like, if you look at your WWE experience and the catalog put together, you gotta be pretty ecstatic and proud, right? Like you did good work, you never gave up, and people look back on what you've done and say that was the guy that first came back. Even though you're saying you didn't first do it, that's how people remember.
Right.
So that and it's crazy to me to think all of that, and you're still a young guy. Like there's still a lot of gas in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Looking back, I'm very, very proud of my career, and I like, you know, the highs and the lows. I love that it was a roller coaster ride. You know, every title that I won like has some sort of meaning, at least to me. You know, where it wasn't just some random title win. You know, like I'm sure, like in the history of the company, but like to me, like I scratched and fought for this night. You know, so to me it means so much. You know, I'd rather be an IC champion, win it Mania, my dad come out, and lose the next night to be like a 7-time champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I'm very grateful for my time in WWE. Like, I never had a real job in my life, and hopefully I'm never gonna have to again because of WWE. Like, the reason I'm up here talking to you guys is because of WWE. If I wasn't that right before, you wouldn't give a damn about what I'm saying. You know, so I'm so grateful for WWE. But now that I'm out of WWE, the past year has been one of, if not the best that I've ever had, and it's been so much fun, and I can't wait for what's next.
Actually, let's talk about that for a minute. We were talking beforehand about some of your non-wrestling things that you've done over the last year, including the podcast that you have and your toy selling.
Yeah.
Toys. They are, but...
Yeah, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, and that was something we actually started while we were in WWE. But I learned from my Z True Announcer YouTube days, if we're gonna do this, it's not gonna be Zach and Gert, it's gonna be Matt and Brian. Because I learned, like, they'll take it from you. And if we would have gotten released and it was their show, it would have been gone. Right? So, and at first, honestly, we did try to pitch it to WWE. Like, let's do the Zach and Gert Wrestling Preview podcast. And they said no. They had no interest in collectibles. Now they have a show about collectibles. They had no interest in podcasts. Now they have their own podcast. Whatever. Like, they don't never work. Well, they get to things eventually, right? Like, they look at social media eventually. They look at that eventually. So we started as Matt and Brian. And we weren't hiding it. We were just kind of, tippy-toeing and being careful of what we were doing, especially with our likeness. Once we got released, man, all handcuffs were off. We started making our own action figures. We started, taking all our live shows and doing even crazier things and just doing everything. And not everything's gonna work. Some things are gonna be a flop. But you know what? We're trying, and I have no problem failing as long as I get the opportunity to try.
And you kind of speak your last shows. You have one coming up in Jimmy's Famous Seafood. You said that sold out?
Yeah, I would play right now. It sold out by a half hour. But there are other people, podcasts will be there. So check those out. Jeff, Jared, Conrad, and the Good Brothers, Podcast Palooza.
Is it 4? I think it's like 4 going on that weekend.
Hey,
You guys have to look up.
I think it's the 11th, 12th, and 13th at Jimmy's. Jimmy's is the best. I'll call Jimmy's all day.
Yeah,
Jimmy's the best.
John's awesome. We've had a great relationship with John and Jimmy's for the last couple of years. So.
Funny story about Jimmy's. So I love their crab cakes. I legitimately love their crab cakes. That I sometimes just crave them at home. And you could order them from Jimmy's and they'll send it to your house. So when I got released with WWE, I had a crab cake in the oven, and it ruined my crab cakes. Because by the time when I got released, it wasn't that big a deal. It sounds horrible to say, but when a new release was up, okay, what's the call? Just please call me by now. I already had my pro wrestling piece stores ready to go. I'm can you just please buy me so I can make this store live, please? Come on, please. And plus, I didn't resign my contract, so my contract would have been up in August. So it was oh my God, are they gonna not hire me, maybe rock till August? So finally, that's they work in July, But anyway, so this crab cake, I couldn't even enjoy it. Because I just got fired and I'm worried about the t-shirt store, I gotta change my name, I gotta call my lawyer and make some trademarks. Oh damn, the crab cake! By the time I got that, it was I still ate it, but it wasn't quite fresh.
How long does it take the crab cake to get from Baltimore to Tampa?
They do it overnight. Yeah, it's dry ice. He's got that's become a huge part of Jimmy's business. They have a whole other kitchen now. That's a whole other stream of income.
Yeah, I didn't do reason.
That's what the writing tries.
Waiting 4 days.
And that's another act we've seen in the video. John Menendakis has, during this pandemic, has expanded his food truck business, changed the whole layout of the restaurant to accommodate the carry-out orders. You can even go in and buy steaks just like you could in a butcher shop now. He's constantly reinventing himself, much like you've done throughout your career as well.
And we'll be there June 11th, sold out, but I can't wait to do a nice big crab. I'm gonna have one tonight out. I'm really sure he's got a crab cake or two. Maybe something to the road. Bring stuff home with me, Have a little cool, come back a little bag, a little cooler.
You don't have room for Leo shirts.
That's right. That's right, Leo.
And talking about how you kind of set yourself up the last decade or so with WWE, you're pretty much in the driver's seat now. You can kind of do whatever you want. You're not contracted with anybody. You've been on Impact as well as AEW.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. And listen, WWE was awesome. I loved it. I'm so grateful. That was my dream. But that was a long relationship. And I'm not saying it was a bad one. It wasn't a bad one. I don't want to jump into another relationship right now. I want to just, for the first time, be my own boss, do whatever I want to do, just test the waters, have fun. Because this past year with the pandemic, wrestling's been kind of weird, to have big crowds, to get indies few and far between. Some people can't wrestle, but now I feel it's starting to finally open up. So now the real fun begins, right? I felt when I was released back to the toy, talking about toys. I felt like it was Christmas morning. I saw all these like toys, and I was ready, like they were opponents, and I was ready to open them up and wrestle them. But I didn't really get to because there was nothing going on. But now the world finally opened up, hopefully, and now I feel like I'll get to go out there and wrestle whoever's on the indies, like the Who's Who, guys like legends who like Hawkins and I were like the headbangers like Cocoa Beach, Florida, like yeah, I was the headbangers, like that, stuff like that. These dream matches would be like, no band cares, but I care. I want to wrestle Marshall Thrasher. Yeah, that's it.
And I think we're going to see as we get open back up, I think the indies are going to thrive. I really do. We've kind of talked about it. I think because the way so many states are different. I know a lot of companies like Ring of Honor, when you talk to them, they have no plans for the foreseeable future to go back on the road doing tapings the way they are. It seems like a lot of the big companies are that way. I think if people want to see live wrestling, they're going to have to go to the indies. And I think, that's a lot of people said, how do you think it's going to change? I really think you're going to see, once we get open back up in Maryland, I think you're going to see the indies thrive over the next couple of years.
I'll have to go to their local promotion, right?
Right, they're going to have to. They want to see live wrestling, not just on TV.
And there's been a lot of people who have been cut recently. I mean, the last round of cuts, and you were one from last year's round of cuts, so there's lots of people out there hungry and eager to work. So.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even really get to do the rounds, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got released this year with my fiance. We're all unemployed.
As well.
Yes, that was a funny day. Because I still have some birdies on the inside. I didn't know she was on the list, but I knew that there was a list and the cuts were coming. So I called her. I said, "There's been some cuts today. Just want to let you know." And I was at the bar getting my beard all trimmed up. So they fired me. I'm like, well, I started calling pro wrestling. He's like, put her store back up. I started calling people like, we need this music made. Like, you can sit and bitch and moan and get things done. So what are you gonna do? You choose. I'll give you 24 hours to complain, and then you gotta get to work. And she started her own podcast. No one's gonna do the work for you. You have to bust your own ass.
It's not gonna fall on your last.
Right.
Sitting around going, where's this guy?
Right. For sure.
Her work is, back in Impact, back in the day, with Laurel Van Ness, is some of the best character work. In recent memory, The Hot Mess. Laurel Van Ness, she was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you will see that again. Unfortunately, WWE didn't want her to do the Hot Mess. And maybe that would have come eventually, I don't know, who's to say. But now, she's her own boss. If she wants to come to MCW and be the Hot Mess, she'll do it. If she wants to come to MCW and just be regular Chelsea Green, she'll do it. No one's going to tell her what she can and can't do. And I think a lot of people are going to realize that, the people who got released, and I sent out a tweet to everybody, not that they should listen to me, but guys, you're going to be okay if you work your ass off and make your own opportunities. If you're sitting back and just think, well, I was in WWE for 3 years, they're going to come calling, they're going to bring me back as a promoter, they're not. You got to bust your ass harder than ever, and some things will be a flop, and you just need to take that and use that as a learning experience.
What do you think, MCW fans? Do you want to see Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green here in MCW?
I'm going to say that right here.
I was going to ask you, there's a rumor going around in indie wrestling right now, and I think you sent out some tweets, and he sent some back, and one of the probably most known players in the indie scene, the guy who brings real danger to the game, talking about MDK, Nick Gage. What's going on with that, Matt? You trying to start something, or you got to definitely...
Listen, I'm not trying to start anything. I have no problem with him. I don't know him personally. I respect the hell out of him, obviously. But he's put some pretty funny tweets my way, so I've been trying to send them back. But, I'm always ready. I would love to use this time in my career to do things a little differently, In WWE, it would be all right, typically, all right, you have 5 minutes, no entrance, go make so-and-so look good. And I'm like, whatever, that's the job, right? But now, I can have these fun, kick-ass matches. And I promise you, wrestling Nick would not be fun, but it would definitely be a kick-ass match, and I think the clash of styles, and I think, more importantly, the fans would want to see that. And if it's something that my fans want to see, then I'll do it for them, you know?
It's like you Cody had that quote, and you can play your music how you want to now, right? I think that's pretty powerful. So hopefully that'll happen soon enough. But we're going to the fans here? Come on,
Usually I see people across the table to Larry, but you're speaking about, the fans want it, so we have.
It's all about the fans at the end of the day, right?
It's all about the fans. This is our first time we've had a live studio audience. Usually what our fans do is submit us questions, and then we read them to our guests and we ask them. But since you're here live, we're going to be coming to you to ask your questions. And we have Rosario is over here. So if you've got a question for Matt, just indicate, raise your hand, and Rosario will come over.
Well, the first show back is Shamrock Cup.
The first show back is not going to be the Shamrock Cup. And the reason is that's what are we going on, Shamrock 20 on the trophy, 21? That's like become our WrestleMania, and it's one of the big independent tournaments. And to be really transparent, the State Athletic Commission has already said that the first show back, because politically speaking, with this pandemic, you always have two sides, and there's people that never want things to open up again, and there's people that are going to be looking for reasons to say, oh my God, everybody's going to die if you have 500 people in a building, because that's the way this whole thing has been. So basically what the commission's told us is when we get this announcement in June about potentially doing the live, that the first show back is probably going to be very restricted, and we don't know what that means. I'm assuming it means, even though the governor of Maryland has said live events or large capacity events, which is what we are considered, can be at 50%, and even though there can be 15,000 people watching the Baltimore Orioles game, that we might be told 100 people. We don't know. For the first show, and they think that after the first show, everybody won't be stepping on eggshells as much. So we don't want to have, which is one of the really big independent wrestling tournaments on the scene, be restricted and only be able to have 100 people. So we're just planning on our first show back. It'll be our first show at that point in 15, 16 months. So we probably won't even have a big name booked on it. It'll probably just be a locals. Leo will probably be here because Leo's everything. But the second or third show, we'll do the Shamrock Cup before the end of this year. But I think the first show back, we're just going to be, we're just going to dip our toes back in the water with the commission, and then that'll be the second or third show back.
Yeah, you don't want the Shamrock Cup to be
Right. No, we'll do the first show, dip our toes back in, have a live event again, and then we'll get it.
Maybe like a live breakthrough show. You know how we did the tape one for you today? We got a couple more plans. Maybe we do a live breakthrough show.
My question is for Matt. I was just wondering, how did you meet Super Gabby the first time?
Oh man, Super Gabby is my toy dealer. He may be other people's drug dealer, but he's my toy dealer. I found him on this app called Let Go. You know what that is? It's like, so he had this giant storage unit full of wrestling figures, and I said, all right, it's in Orlando, so I gotta check this out. So I went, and I don't know if you've ever seen these videos, like, he's a character, and I felt like this is all stolen goods, like this is not legitimate. Until he built, I was questioning if his Punjabi prison playset was complete, and he took it out of the box and he built it on the street in like 5 minutes. Like, you can't build that with no instructions unless you know what you're talking about, And I quickly realized he's legitimate. I don't know where he gets his merchandise. I don't know where he gets his Ace Fresh figures. I don't know why the local Walmart doesn't have them. I don't ask questions, okay? But I know he has stuff. He's great. He's a character. I wouldn't recommend dealing with him online. I would only do in-person deals. I can't promise he's going to send you your stuff, but he's never screwed you over.
I'm totally impressed by that story because I have a Punjabi prison and it was unput together in a box. It was put together once, then I guess small child of mine disassembled it, and it now lives unassembled in a box, so I'm totally impressed by that.
Hey Matt, my question is, you done so much in WWE, you had media moments, etc. Now that you did AEW and you're in Impact now, who are your dream opponents or your goals now that you're now? What are your goals now?
So that's easy. So right now that I'm in Impact, I don't want to be in Impact just to get another shirt on shopimpact.com, which I have one by the way, go check it out. I want to be in Impact to be the world champ. So whether that's Kenny Omega who has it, or Rich Swann, or Moose, or whoever has the Impact title, that's kind of the goal right now. And that's the greatest thing is that, I could do Impact, or if Cody calls, like, we need you here this week, I could just go. I don't have a contract anywhere. I would love to go to New Japan. I would love to try Ring of Honor. I just kind of want to just bounce around. I want to date a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I just want to date.
Swipe right a little bit, swipe right.
First of all, I'm originally from North Jersey, okay?
Oh, sorry, man.
But second of all, I always wanted to know the origin of your woo-woo-woo catchphrase because every time I hear woo-woo-woo, I think of an old R&B singer by the name of Jeffrey Osborne. I'm not sure if you ever heard that song.
So I've since heard that song. That's not where I got it from. Where I got it from is my friends. Like when we would go to the bars when we were in college. I don't even think you could do this in 2021, but if an attractive woman would walk by and say woo woo woo. I don't think you can do that anymore. But in 2008, 2009, I'm not saying it was acceptable, but it certainly wouldn't get you dancing on the internet, And eventually it evolved into, okay, the Edgeheads were over. I wanted to be different from Edge, different from Chris Hawkins, and I was pitching to be this Long Island douchebag character, and I wanted to just take, elements from all the people I hated when I went out, like the big, jacked up guys who wore sunglasses inside and headbands and pop collars. I can do that. I made the whole world hate me, and it worked.
And that makes the comment to go. We'll see you back again. I just want to ask, in an industry where it's go tough and everyone's tough, and no one talks about some of the fun sides, you talk about the figs. This surprised you as being a closet wrestling big fan. And also, one of the great things, can we get a no one right told me tall, dude? I gotta hear it.
That's such an insider thing. I don't know if everyone knows, but nobody has bigger hog than me, dude. People okay, I know Batista's a big collector. We actually talked about this on the podcast, the MC Show on our story podcast this week. But the first time I ever went to Batista's house, it's 2008, when it was not cool to be a nerd, not cool to collect things. I remember we walk in, this beautiful home, there's a piano just playing itself, right? The catering, his house catered with sushi, after a show. But then one of the rooms had all these old school lunch boxes on display. Those old tin, whatever, metal lunch boxes and these lightsabers on the wall. I'm like, Big Dave didn't like this stuff. It's okay if little Zach does too, Joe, get off the phone, ask a question. This guy over here, this guy Joe, been one of my biggest supporters. He came to one of our live shows, I guess almost 2 years ago, and proposed to his girlfriend at the show.
Did you say yes or no?
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was on the phone, Mom, when you were talking.
When you were traveling with your buddies Jizz and Zigger and all of that, did you ever consider forming a wrestling segment with them, or just an idea?
Oh, of course, I do with a new clip, baby. Me, Miz, Ziggler, Morrison, of course, we had our little hand sign and stuff. But it's not that easy. It's like when you get tweets and, you should turn heel. You know what? Great idea. I'm gonna just hop in and go punch up the yeah, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. But yeah, our plan was to be a a little group, because we were in real life, we still are. And I just never say never, you know. I would love that. I'd absolutely love that.
He doesn't have a trademark yet.
I can't say it now. I don't have anything on top of my head. We do have a group chat, and it's called the Cinema Chat, because Mike, you know, he has like a movie room in his house, and he calls it the cinema, so we make fun of him for that. It's all like his marine posters and stuff. But I think he's not allowed to put the one up where it's him and some Miranda cover, because Maurice gets mad, so.
Okay. Anything else, Dan?
No, it's about that time. We got all that magic done, jeez.
Yeah, perspective.
I appreciate you guys coming out. I love meeting you guys. It's awesome that, you know, you guys came out and you paid your money to meet me. I appreciate that. And, I'm sure I'll be back when I do. I don't know if it's going to be solo or with Chelsea or with the Major Pod crew. I hope you guys come out and cheer and just have some fun, right? We all want to see some live wrestling back. So this place is great, and it's going to be one hell of a show. So come on back.
Thank you guys for coming out and getting us one step closer to our a little normalcy. So thanks again, Matt. We will absolutely 100% get you back as soon as we can. As soon as we get the all clear from the commission and can actually put some dates in the book for not only this building, but we have a great building down in Southern Maryland, and Hollywood is a great facility. We built up a little territory area down there. So, and yeah, we'll have you guys back.
I want to be on one of those posters, and I need that short for my house too.
Bring me your shirts.
Oh yeah. And then you lose in California, that's going to cost a lot of shipping too. Orlando, oh man, oh God, Lil, you better press the family PayPal me that send a receipt.
Speak about the next house party I have.
Well, thanks again. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I love you guys.